and simply just their well-being.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Sanchez, and you are listening and watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show. This morning, super excited. My name is Jennifer Sanchez. I'm the founder of the Wise Alliance Network, Women's Institute of Self-Development Efficacy. I know that's long, WISE for short. And then, of course, I'm a real estate investor. So if anyone's interested in purchasing a property, 30 days or less, feel free to reach out to me. We can make that happen. And I'm a mom of 3 beautiful girls, so I got to make sure I shout out my babies. But that is me. You want to learn more about me? Go to wisealliancenetwork.com. I'm super excited for the guest that we have here this morning, because we are also we're colleagues, right?
Yes,
we are colleagues. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Sean Brooks?
Yes, absolutely. So what's up, Jen?
What's up?
I also call her Clarissa. We'll get to
Clarissa.
that why. But I am Sean Brooks from Brooks Media. That's Brooks Media with 2 S's. If you ain't adding the S, you ain't spelling it right. And you can find me on all platforms at Brooks Media. I run a video production company that specializes in documentary nonprofits. And I also teach here with you.
Yep, at Illinois Media School.
Illinois Media School. Shout out to IMS, gang, gang.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I know you kept saying, like, when are you gonna put me on the show? When are you gonna put me on the show? Right. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And then all of a sudden an opportunity opened up, because I'm backed up with guests, but I was like, you know what? Now let's do it. And what do you have here also?
So what Jen is not telling, she treated me like the bald head stepchild, right? I've been asking her on this show for a little bit. She's like, oh, you want to get on the show? I'm like, yeah. Like, put me on the show. So I'm happy that it worked out for me to be here. So today we are playing cards. Okay, that's cards with an H, not an R. Okay, there's a difference. If you know, you know. We are playing spades because Jenny's gonna block over here, aka Clarissa. So let me give you a little backstory why I call her Clarissa. So I'm a huge fan of the Cosby Show. And so one day, Jen came in here looking like Clara Huxtable with the Mexican version. I was just like, oh, that's Clarissa. That's Clarissa Huxtable.
Yeah, and ever since then, you have not stopped calling me Clarissa ever since.
Not.
So we actually we co-teach in the beginning. When I first started Illinois Media School, we were co-teachers, and I had the privilege of teaching with you and watching you, and I really admire a lot of the things that the way that you teach, right? Because it's just very I don't want to say like a lecturer, but definitely you break down everything when you're teaching, and you're teaching mainly on the branding side, correct?
Yes.
So can you talk a little about the type of teaching that you do here at Illinois Media School, so
Absolutely.
that everyone can stay up to date?
Yeah, absolutely. So with me running a video production company, you cut already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just a reminder, I go first to lead it off. I'm gonna pick up a card, I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna throw the other one away. You ain't even gotta look at it. Whatever card you throw away, don't even look at it.
Okay. All right.
So your turn.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna mess this up.
Okay. So because I run a video production company, I have a lot of experience, if you will, in just branding and the importance of branding. So I'm teaching students how to understand the concept. Number one, if people don't like you, no matter how good you are, they're not going to work with you, right? Mm-hmm. People work with who they like. But also too, when you're setting up your brand, are you setting up your brand for success, right? Like, people sometimes they start a business, they start a brand, and the first thing they want to do is just like go start spending money on it. And it's like, did you set up your SEO? What platform are you going to decide to use? What do your call to actions look like, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm teaching my students all of this. One, how to navigate the digital space, but also do it effectively. Is one thing to have a business, but how effective and cohesive is that business? Like, is it set up for success? Are we using sales funnel tactics such as ADA to draw our clientele in?
Okay. That's cool. And then how did you fall into, I don't remember if we ever talked about this, but how'd you fall into this whole marketing, branding field?
Great question. So one of the gaffers that I hire a lot of my productions is a teacher here as well. Shout out to Josh.
Oh, nice.
And because I am, I don't want to keep this. because I am I have to do this in my own business. I started doing a lot of this teaching stuff on YouTube, and it was being received very well. And then I had people reaching out for consultation and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a no brainer for me um, to kind of pick up the mantle of teaching and really, kind of put my own spin on it. I feel like sometimes we talk to these students or we talk to people like like they're just. I like to talk to people on their level, so that really much encourages my teaching style.
Okay. So what attracted you again, right? Just to branding, right? Because I think everyone has a knack, right?
Yeah.
Like I think as we get older and we start kind of figuring out like this is my thing, right? Like did it kind of just fall on your lap then essentially kind of this, or is it like you've always gravitated towards this?
That's a really good question because I started. What's funny is my business. Before I got into business, I was actually a digital marketing manager for not an agriculture company, insurance company. So and then I had to start doing like a little bit of branding on YouTube as well. So I can't say I've always had a knack for. One may argue that I have, but at least I didn't feel like I did. So I would say it kind of fell into my lap type of thing. I'm the type of person, how I do anything is how I do everything. So even when it comes to like branding, I'm going to try to do that as effective as I can because I'm putting my hands on it. So I can't even say like I've always had a passion for it. It's something that just I happen to learn and get very skilled at.
So it's funny because I kind of felt, right, I think we had this conversation now that I think about it, sociology, right? I went to UIC for sociology. Had nothing to do with marketing, right? But then fell into internships in the marketing side. Like first internship was a big marketing company in downtown. Second internship was another big marketing company that like would run marketing for like Jiffy Lube. They had clients like Jiffy Lube, those level of clients, right?
Okay.
So I just remember like, oh, I'm good at this, right? Like I remember like people were like, you're really good at like PR stuff. You're really good at like, and then they would obviously show me more things. And as I went through my career, which I mean, I just celebrated a birthday, so I'm going to be like, 20 years, 20 years in a career. You're not that far away. You're not that far away.
Didn't say anything.
I'm just saying.
It was chuckle a little bit. That's all it did.
Okay, because you're only like 3 years younger than me. Stop it.
Be that as it may, it's there.
Okay. But I thought about it. It's like it always fell on my lap. It always came right back to me, regardless, even if like I went into the nonprofit world to do case management, somehow once they discover like, oh, you have this ability. Yeah. Let's throw some more marketing and outreach stuff on you, right? So then it's like, oh, here we are again in the same place doing the same thing that like it just never left me. It never leaves me. And even in the entrepreneurship side, as you know, it's like it's a great skill to have.
100%.
People pay for this ability to be a branding, a marketing person, right? And then there's different levels of it too. I think we've established like you're very into like corporate, nonprofit, documentary style, right?
Yeah.
You're very like across the board, your branding's all very corporate-y.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It is. And I know that for me, I'm like big on the personal brand side. I love building the personal brand and, building relationships online with people one-on-one. And they know my persona, So you can go, branding can have different, there's different strategies when it comes to branding.
Yeah.
Right?
And this is exactly why I look at, and lift my hand.
Oh, wait.
Like a cheater. I don't know what it is, but something is given.
I look like I remember I don't do 2-person card, so I don't remember so I'm supposed to get all of them in my hand and just organize them. Okay.
Yeah, it's organized. I mean, it's essentially it is saying like any other space. It's just me and you. That's really what it is. So I'm gonna collect all these books on you, and that's just gonna be that.
That's not gonna happen, but okay.
So,
I haven't done it like this. If it teams, yes, I've done the teams thing.
In all fairness, to my hand is kind of mid. So I dealt. It's on you. So for me, like like you said, it's different lanes of like branding, right? So for me, this is why I break down branding, like dating.
You do. You do that actually.
I do that because it is to me, it's one and the same, right? So if you set your brand up for the type of clientele that you want, that's the type of person you're going to get. If you are dressing for the type of person that you want, that's the type of person you're going to get, right? So if you are walking into a room, let's just say you got like, nothing but a tank top on, oversized pants, and, like a hair wrap or something like that, you're not going to get that person who's put in a nice suit or like whatever the case is, right? So I dress my brand up for the type of clientele that I want because that's what I want. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of income that I feel like corporate clients have. Sure. And there's a structure that's just easier for me to deal with versus like the person-to-person brand. And there's nothing wrong with the person-to-person brand, obviously, right? I just think because I had worked in corporate for so long, it was just a structure I got very familiar with. And it's a structure that I kind of want to stay in.
It makes absolute sense. And I think you're right. Do you network? And I guess we're going to make this a branding conversation, right? A whole branding. Okay. Right. Because I think I'm really strategic on even the places that I go, right? Like when it comes to networking, like if you want a specific caliber of clientele, right? You're not going to go to certain areas, right? There's certain type of networking events. You're going to be strategic of where you go. Is that the kind of networking that you do, or how do you go about networking?
So I go about networking through number one, through my clients. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm on a job, I'm talking to other people as well, like that kind of knows you, right? Or like who's working in the same space, because I don't know who they know. I also look up corporate networking event. One of the great networking groups I go to is Chicago Innovation.
You told me about this.
They're really good. Chicago Innovation is a great networking group. It's a lot of listen, let me go ahead and call it space. It's a lot of money in that room. Chicago Innovation, they be having some money in the room. So I go for places like that where I know what the structure is going to be. So I don't really dive too deep into like creative networking events. Not to say that they're not, effective, but they're just not the market I'm really looking for.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes a lot of sense when you're being strategic. And you know what I really dislike? I'm gonna share this in live. Going into places, like the flash no cash networking groups. Mm-hmm. Oh, those piss me off so much. It's like it's almost like wow, like because there's a lot of people that are out there pretending to be something that they're not. Yeah. And I've been around the block for a while where I can identify like you're full of it, right? Yeah. And it's good that you've identified a community or a group where there's a lot of like people back up what they're saying.
Yes.
And I think that's big. So it's like, if I go to a networking event and I'm not going there anymore, it's because I've already identified something out of your community that I really don't like. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's smart for you to also be able to realize that too, right? Like I think people, sometimes they try to stick with something just for the sake of sticking with something. But in business, I think you have to also be smart and know when something's not working, when to pivot.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, I tell people all the time, like, if you are worried about making a mistake or failing in business, then you should never go into business, right? Like you cannot be scared to fail. Like
because you are going to fail. You are going to fail.
There's no way, no way around that. There's no way around it. I fail often. I mean, heck, I was just showing my students that I had paid like over $780 1 month to Google just because I made a mistake. Right, on just my keywords, right? And it costed me. So that's a mistake I'm gonna learn from. You know what I mean? So I go in knowing that I'm gonna make mistakes.
You're gonna write it off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it off for sure. It's just, even still, I'm going in knowing like, hey, I'm gonna keep messing up. Right. Yeah. And I'm not afraid of those mess ups. I know what they lead to. Right. Yeah. It's giving me a learning degree. So those L's that people call them, they just learning degrees to me.
Yeah. Have you heard of the expression fail forward?
Fail forward? No, actually I haven't.
That is something like, okay, you're going to fail, but just fail forward. Like keep moving forward, keep failing, but keep going towards the direction. Yeah. Because a lot of times, like you're right, like entrepreneurship isn't for the weak at all. Like and I think I'm like, I might say something biased, but like, I feel like men probably can handle that entrepreneurship better because like sometimes women have that, especially like a single woman kind of doing it on her own as an entrepreneur. That's a lot of pressure that I don't think a lot of women, they could handle it, but I think a lot of women are not built for, right?
I would argue it's almost like, you know, I wouldn't even put it to a gender thing, because even for me right now, like I hit 6 years in April with my business, but I'm getting burnt out a little bit.
Oh, you get burnt out so quickly.
You know what I mean? And there's a piece of me that sometimes just miss. I mean, this is why I'm here, right? There's a piece of me that just misses that safety net at times, where like no matter what I do, because in entrepreneurship, you know, like I know, is you kill what you eat what you kill.
You kill what you eat. Yeah.
Right. So if you're not killing nothing,
you ain't eating.
You ain't eating.
You ain't eating.
So it's nice to be able to come to a restaurant, a corporate structure, right? And then it's had a meal served to you.
Here you go.
Right. Here's our encore, and it's like our entree, whatever the case is. I didn't have to put no marketing behind to do it. I didn't have to go out and hustle to get this plate. This plate was just served to me because I walked into the restaurant.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, to think about it that way, because you're right. Entrepreneurship is like, if you're not hustling, if you're not out there, you know, and I tell a lot of people, me in this position right now, I haven't had a W-2 since 2016. So I've been on my own since 2016. I've had contracts. I've been a contractor. I've been a freelancer, right?
Yeah.
But that is definitely something that I understand 100%. So for me to be back in a W-2 like this, it's like, it's refreshing. It is. But I think it's also very purposeful, right?
Yeah.
It's very purposeful. Like being here, working with someone like Illinois Media School, right? The credibility, right? Adds a lot of value. Working with students who are in media, who are going to go to XYZ avenues, you know, and you're going to stay with these connections are like, I love these connections, right? I love connecting with media students and in this field.
I mean, we are the #1 school in
the nation.
The nation, right? For media. And also too, you know, just like you, I love having students come with me on my sets, right?
Yeah.
I've hired students already to do jobs. I just hired a student recently to kind of do some social media stuff for me. So, you know, it feels good also too, like, especially if, you know, with me being their teacher, I'm getting to see what I taught them in real time.
It's fulfilling.
Yes, it's fulfilling for sure. For sure.
I agree. And I think when you see someone go from A to B, I mean, teaching in general, I love teaching and coaching. So it was a no-brainer to take this on for me, right? Yeah. And similar to you, like, you love teaching. You could tell with the way you teach. You know, I love teaching too, because it's like, I want to see my students succeed.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, this is great. Are you gonna throw a card down, or I throw?
It's on you.
Oh, it's oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm all right. Whatever. Here you go.
Somebody plays cards.
Okay.
Cards.
All right.
So just to let y'all know, that first book, I walked out the gate.
Okay, whatever.
I'm just saying. So, what is something that you dislike the most, you would say, so far in regards to just being an entrepreneur? I feel like there's so much glorified about entrepreneurship, where it's like, we had this freedom. We had this free time. We had to do what we want.
This is a warm up. Just say.
Okay.
Go.
She's
I am losing. I am.
So there's this, fantasy land, if you will, when it comes to entrepreneurship. Like, we just be out here just living it up. We always got free time. We don't work for nobody. But I tell people, even now, like, hey, I may not have a permanent boss, but I have a moment boss, if you will, right? So my client, depending on what their needs are, they're technically, I'm answering to them.
Yeah, you're still answering.
You're still answering to somebody, right? Even your time. They say, like, oh, you get all this time back. And it's like, I mean, I do, but most of my time I'm sitting here now trying to hustle or go hunt for food.
Finally. Okay. No, I agree, because I think a lot of times people think when you have clients, they're still essentially your bosses. And essentially you could have the best ideas and you could be like, yeah, this is the greatest idea. Like, I think this is a great strategy for you guys. Oh, I took your queen. That means you're running out. But I do think that, it's something to think about, right? Like, I lost my train of thought because I took
the book.
Okay, I took a book.
We're talking about just you still have a boss, basically, even an entrepreneur.
And you know what? I've noticed even in marketing, like, you can have the greatest ideas and share the greatest thoughts on how they should do something, and they're still gonna say no.
Yeah,
because they still want to do what they want. They're the ones that are cutting the check. So, I don't think being like the best marketer, right? It really matters, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know strategy. You need to know what works, but you still, at the end of the day, it's their say so. I don't want to see that. I want to see this.
Yeah, exactly, right? So even as an artist, if I have a theme.
We'll be right back after these brief messages. Don't touch that dial.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby, brought to you by Progressive. Federal changes mean more SNAP recipients will now be classified as able-bodied adults without dependents and must meet work requirements to keep benefits. The Illinois Department of Human Services has sent notices and exemption forms to affected customers. Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity have awarded more than $17 million to expand the Illinois Works pre-apprenticeship program. The funding will support 39 recipients statewide. Illinois is seeing its worst flu season in more than 15 years, with health officials reporting very high flu activity statewide. The Illinois Department of Public Health says at least 100 people have died this season, including 77 in January alone. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on the Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 16, cooling to around 12 this afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 0. Looking ahead to Thursday, sunny with a high near 14, and temperatures falling to around 11 in the afternoon. Currently, it's 5 and mainly clear. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
A KFC tale in the pursuit of flavor. The Colonel made his $10 Tuesday bucket so full with 8 pieces of juicy, crispy chicken or tenders that it might just last you till Wednesday, if you've got that kind of self-control. I'm mean, some people want leftovers. Others are more into right nowers. The Colonel lived so we could chicken. $10, 8 pieces, one big deal with KFC $10 Tuesdays.
Prices and participation may vary. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
We are back live on the air. A little hiccup right there, but we are talking to Sean Brooks from Brooks Media with 2 S's. And what I love about this conversation is that we're playing spades while we're having a chat.
Yes.
And I was a little concerned. I was like, am I going to be able to handle this? Because I don't think I'm a good, one thing I am not the best multitasker, right? Like my brain cannot shift. Like I'm completely ignoring you. If I'm focused on one thing and you think I'm doing another thing, I'm just completely ignoring it.
Okay, good to know.
Just so you know,
good to know.
If I'm on my phone and you're talking to me, I might not even be listening to you.
So you're not walking and chewing bubble gum.
No, I don't. literally, I don't walk and chew bubble gum. I really believe most people are like that. They love to say "Oh, I'm a great multitasker." I'm like, you're a liar, because I think you are. I learned this in a speech. This was a presenter years ago, and she said that there's no such thing as a multitasker, because when you are doing something, you're really neglecting another thing. You might kind of be like, oh, I'm a great multitasker. I got 50 things going on at one time, but you're not giving your best in something, right? Oh, what you're
No. When I said no, that sigh was a sigh of relief, because I agree with that 100%. I tell my students this all the time, where they'll come in and be like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And it's like, okay, no, let's
you would say
focus.
that.
Right? Let's focus, because like you just said, you can only give 100% of yourself to one thing at a time. And this is why I always about the dating, right? Like with dating, you can't date 2 people, 3 people at the same time and they're getting you 100%.
No, they're absolutely
they're not. So it's the same thing with business. Like, why would you start multiple businesses? You haven't even figured out how to do the one yet.
Yeah, my mentor, she said it's like a gardener, right? And you're gonna focus on, let's say you have a rose bush, right? And the one that you're gonna really work on making that one flower bloom and grow. But if you're trying to do all of them, none of them are gonna bloom, right? They're all gonna be small. I just showed you my card. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Talk about I'm a cheater. You just looked over.
I know what you're doing. I know, I thought she was flashing.
No, psych. No, but I think that's one of the things. I don't think people truly are multitaskers. I think you neglect one over another.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're making it subpar.
Yeah, you're giving yourself a reason where it's like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, nobody told you to start a clothing brand, a record company.
Oh my God. Some of these students will be coming in with I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, I do. I'm like, gosh, what do you not do?
Like, what do you not do, right? And then, once you ask the question I always ask them is like, well, which one is making you the most money?
You do ask that. I've heard you say that,
right?
Which is true. And that's where your attention should be more.
It should be more. Absolutely. So if you got 16 businesses and only one of them is making you money,
what's the point?
What's the point?
Unless it's a hobby for you.
Right. And I think sometimes people just like to stay busy to say they're doing something.
That could be their trauma, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That's real.
But when you are that busy,
that's real.
You are running away from something.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're running away from, but that's between you and Jesus or your therapist. Right? Trying to keep your mind occupied from whatever you're trying to run away from. I've actually made the decision this year to really cut back on a lot. I am the person that does have a lot of multiple things, but I'm very strategic why I have so many multiple things. And I've added on over the years. So I'll start with one thing and then be like, okay, I really like this. Okay, now I want to incorporate this.
Yeah.
And then because it's already flowing and moving, right? And it's self-sustaining, right?
Yes.
I've had a women's organization since 2018. That's still, it's self-sustaining. I don't really gotta I've built the community. It's stable, it's strong. I have a following. When I put, hey, I'm gonna do this event, women will show up. Because I've already built the credibility behind it. Okay, let me dabble into real estate now, right? And put my attention in that. Which I have the rentals and I have a rehab going on right now, right? So it's now let that kind of pick itself up and continue to go, right? And then how do I add the next thing? So that's why I felt comfortable taking this on, because I was like, I have all my stuff kind of flowing.
And it's a structure with that, right? And
there's a structure,
I
yes.
think that's what you kind of learn a little bit the more you live life. Because I tell people all the time, like, you're going to, like, life is just you handling a different mistake every day. You just learn how to you just learn how to handle mistakes better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with you getting older, I think there's a certain level of appreciation that you have with your time as well that you're considering. So when you're taking on new projects, when you're taking on new projects,
at least I got 5 books.
Yeah, you said lost.
I got.
I just want to make that perfectly clear, because she's talking about at least I got 5 books. Yeah, but you still go home. Like, second place is not a trophy.
Just warming up.
Okay.
I was warming up. All right. Don't bring that side out of me. All right. Don't bring Jenny from the block out. Do not.
That's that east side of me, y'all. Don't.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
all on me.
So you were raised on the east side of Chicago.
Let me tell you something. East side crazy. Do you hear me? Born and raised.
Where's the east side?
Okay.
Educate.
All right. So you got two answers for this. Technically 3. You got 3 answers for this. And I'm gonna tell you why. And people from Chicago who are from the east side is gonna agree with this. So number 1, you got some people who say like Chicago doesn't have an east side because it's the lake.
Because of the lake, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And people on the east side say, shut up, you're wrong. So that's so the first answer is automatically wrong. One would then argue from State Street to the lake is east side, because that's the divider from east and west.
It doesn't in the south side, just in general, south side, state.
Yeah, I mean, State go all the way down like downtown too, but
I have a property that says east this street, so it is east.
Right. Okay.
I have it. Okay, I own a property. Like,
you own the property of east, right?
Yeah.
And then another group would say from Stony Island to the lake, right? They would call that east side.
Okay.
I'm on the side of State to the lake, but I can give you Stony Island to the lake. But for me, it's State to the lake. That's east side for me.
So I always thought east side was the elemental P streets.
The elemental P. What's the elemental P streets?
The letters, right? Because there's a part of Chicago that has only letters, right? So me, it's so funny, born and raised in the city, grew up mainly, of course, I was mainly like 26th Street, maybe once in a while being like the 80s, but like that north, right? Okay. I didn't know anything more south than that, right? But typically it was like I only knew up to 26th Street because that's Little Village, right? So like when my mom was like, let's go to buy a dress or something, right? We would go to, the neighborhood over there, right? Or if I was a teenager and we wanted to go cruising, we would go cruising on 26th Street, right?
Okay.
That's why my daughter cannot have a car. Because I know what I did with the car. So, but I didn't know the east side until probably about 2013. I discovered the east side. Yeah.
Discovered the east side.
Yeah, because I remember we were trying to vote. We went to a radio station. I worked for the nonprofit world. And I was doing a media interview with, I don't remember if it was V103. No, it couldn't have been V103, but it was a radio station out in the South Side. And me and my coworker were going, and we wanted to vote for, vote. It was when Barack Obama was running for president.
Okay, this is a while.
Yeah, this is a while ago. This is a while ago. And I remember I was like, okay, we got to like vote because it's Saturday. I remember it was Saturday. I was like, we got to vote, like blah, blah, blah. And me and her trying to find where to vote. Okay.
It does tell you on your registration card.
Well, yeah, but we were doing it like not on the day of voting. It was like an early voting thing. So I just remember like we went to Olive Harvey College, right? Okay. So where's that? 120th? Where's the right?
The
hundreds. And I just remember me and her walked in and we saw that long line. We're like, heck no, we are not. But so the security guard was like, there's a library down the street. You could vote in there. And we're like, okay. We start going down whatever street. I think it was Torrance Avenue. No, was it Torrance? I don't remember. Whatever street that was, we were just going down. And then all of a sudden it's like, what is that? Twilight Zone, right? It goes from a Black community into a Hispanic community. And I was like, why are there so many Mexicans on this side of town? Like, I was like, like my mouth was I was just wide, like shocked, like, and I could see my coworker laughing, like in her car at me because she knows I'm like, where am I? So that's when I discovered the East Side. I was like, oh wow, there's a whole Mexican world tucked over here.
Absolutely,
I didn't
especially
know.
if you're gonna like going to Indiana too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is heavy over there with the culture.
heavy, yeah.
Tacos over there, you know what I mean?
Shout out to the
Shout out
tacos.
to the tacos over there.
The tacos.
They don't miss. They don't miss. So yeah, you're cutting.
Okay.
Yeah, she finna lose again, y'all.
Okay.
Just
Whatever.
Since you cut, you can pull first.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I love the East Side because number one for me, I love being by the lake. Like I love being by the water. And then I love just being so central to downtown. Like I'm only like 12 minutes away from downtown. You know what I mean? So it's such a very centralized thing for me, and it's just a sense of nostalgia. I just love being around the area that I grew up in.
Yeah, of course. Like when I go back to the community I grew up in, it's like, oh, I remember that, right? Like I remember this, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever take your kid and you drive around and share memories?
Show my daughter the grammar school that I went to. I show her the projects that I grew up in. Where I had my first fight set, where I had my first kiss set. Like, yeah, that's the beauty.
The first fights. I love that.
Yeah, like I need to show my daughter what her heritage look like. Hey, girl, you come from a family of oof. I just still weigh something crazy. Jesus Christ. But you come from a family of hustlers and people who know how to defend themselves. You know what I mean? So it's I need to show her what her heritage is. Like, this is your bloodline, girl.
So you know that I chose to move out of the city, right? I was like, I'm not raising my kids in the city. I refuse to raise children in the city just because I grew up in the city, right? And I was like, I know what comes with that, right?
Yeah.
So they was like, what's the word? I mean, the suburbs are not the best either, right? For certain things. Did I throw one down or?
You got someone else.
Oh, okay. That was great. But you know, I refuse. I was like, no, I'm not going to raise you in the city. I don't want to raise you in the city because I just know what comes with it.
Yeah.
But it's funny because she'll be like, Mom, I'm. She'll say something like, I'm ghetto too. I'm like, ow. She's like, by a generation. What did she say? Like, is she inherited it or
by proxy?
I was like, what? She's like, yeah, it was like it's passed down to me, you know, because of you and my dad. I was like, stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it.
Don't
go out there in the city and say that.
They're gonna be like, girl, if you don't get show.
Yeah, I was like, no, but I kind of also sometimes regret it because then I'm like, man, do they know how to defend themselves? Like in you know, if they were put in a situation, because I feel like even like there's a lot of kids in the suburbs, and she tells me stories of what they do and experience and the fighting, you know, being kids. And then they go into the city and they meet real city kids, and then they really get hurt. And I'm like, oh my God, this is why you got to be so careful. Like, she's like, Mom, can I go to a party on the West Side? No.
Yeah.
Mom, but it's everybody from high school. Like, they don't do daytimes anymore. You know, I don't know if you're still in my age range where people did daytimes, you know, parties during the day.
No, we didn't. No, that wasn't thing. It was always party at nights when I was from. So,
really? They didn't do daytimes while in school?
No daytimes, no.
Okay, so in my generation, we did. And now I feel old.
Yeah, I was gonna say that now we can see the age difference right now.
Now I feel old. So then, like, I guess now in this new generation, the way kids are having parties is they're just putting it on social media, and then it like all over the Chicagoland area will like meet up in that spot.
Okay, some Project X type
that
stuff.
sounds very dangerous. So
hey, strangers, this is where we're partying at if you want to come through.
Yeah, I know. And then I'm like, this just, and then she'll be like, well, Mom, can I go to this place in Humboldt Park? I'm like, absolutely not. Do you know? Like, Mom, nothing's gonna. No, absolutely not. Like, I know these areas. I know what the neighborhood's like. I know what the neighborhood do.
You sound like your mom. I appreciate your mom, but it sounds like something your parent would probably say.
I didn't know anything. My parents thought, well, my parents are immigrants, so like I got away with a lot. Okay. You know, they didn't know the
how you out here finagling, how you out here finessing.
I finessed a lot. Like, put one face for my parents and put a different face for, you know, like that's just how I think most immigrant kids kind of,
Henny on the block.
you know, Henny on the block. You're so funny.
So, it's kind of almost like the opposite for me in the sense. And what I'm saying that is like, I kind of, I need my daughter to have some hood stripes. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need her to have some of that.
I believe that. Yeah. Well, you're still in the city, right? You still live in the city.
Still live in the city. So I need my daughter to kind of have like that.
Yeah.
Like, hey, shorty, like, you from Chicago, and there's a certain level of, I didn't want my kids growing up in the burbs. I didn't want a suburban kid. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just, culture wise, I don't know. It's just I didn't want it. I didn't want it. So, but I definitely do understand. Now, come on now, you know better than that. If I was throwing that out the first, you should have known. Put your hand back.
Okay, you're right.
You should have. You knew it was coming.
Okay, go.
But I just didn't want I just didn't want my daughter having that on her jacket of, you know what I mean? Like there's things I teach my daughter just from like living in the city. Like one of the things I taught her was, and I learned this from my dad, which was, if you're walking down the street, you should always have your jacket open, right?
Okay.
And so I learned from my dad, because he's like, if somebody tried to come up and grab you from behind, you should be able to easily come out your jacket.
Take out. Yeah, that makes sense.
So ever since then, like anytime I would walk somewhere, I keep my jacket open just in case I got to slide up out of it. And as a shorty, that's actually gotten me out of some jams. You know what I mean? So, there's a certain thing I feel like when you live in the city, having like that street knowledge and that street sense, that you could even bring into the corporate. You are tearing me a new one. That you can even bring into the corporate world.
I told you I was just warming up.
Oh my God. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Let's see if this goes anywhere.
Yeah. now we getting disrespectful. now we get disrespectful out here. But yeah, like I needed her to have that, that stripe, I guess, of authenticity on her jacket. Oh, thank God. I didn't think that was something though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's see. So she might be looking a little nervous over here, y'all. We gonna see, because all she gotta do is get another book, and I think she's gonna win. But I don't think I'm gonna let that happen. So we're gonna see where she at.
Okay.
We gonna see which way she go. She a little scared now, y'all. See, this is what happens. This is what happens when the city folks meet up with the suburbs out here, because now we're gonna play a little game. So yeah, but I do. Yeah, I know. That's tough.
That was rough.
Let's see what I was at.
That was rough.
Oh, Sweet Christmas. The comeback was crazy.
Yeah. It's okay. I got 6.
Yeah,
I ain't mad.
Okay.
Whatever.
I told her I play cards. You see what I'm saying? You gotta learn how to count them cards. You count them cards, you ain't gonna lose. But yeah, like I said, I wanted my kid to have that on her jacket of just like, I'm from the city, even though technically she was, born in Minnesota. Technically, I had to drive to Minnesota to make sure I did not miss the birth of her. Like 3 times. But she'd be so quick. Like, I was born in Minnesota. Like, you were raised in Chicago. Don't you be out here blaspheming our name like that? Okay, from Minnesota. Like, absolutely.
That doesn't sound credible. Yeah,
it sounds credible.
Sounds
cool. Like,
that sounds cool.
Nobody says I'm from Minnesota proudly. I've never met somebody from Minnesota. Like, I'm from Minnesota. Like, I've never heard that. Right?
Minnesotians.
Right? Like, come on, man. So I be trying to get her out that mode, because, like, how dare you? Like, you come from a family of gangsters from Chicago. Rep your city, okay?
It's so funny.
Like, that's a thing for me. It's a culture.
And I can see that. I don't know. I guess I'm too traumatized from the city that I don't want to deal with it at all. Like, no. Cook County Prison. I don't want to ever step foot into that again. I don't want to.
My memories is like, playing with the fire hydrants out there with the kids. Just some random stuff. Not too many to Cook County business. Sorry. Now we see why you want to go back to the city, because the city, you might got a couple of pending warrants.
I'm just joking, though.
That you don't want to be caught up with.
No warrants. Oh man, just. No. No, I had good memories in the city. I mean, of course, I grew up in Albany Park, very diverse community. I mean, I was raised around every culture you could think of, Black, white, Hispanic, every type of Latino in that sphere, right? Arabic, Cambodians, right? It was just like, it was rich, my upbringing. So I was like, man, this is great, because I could say, like, I learned a lot from, how there's people that just never met this culture. Like I could say, I think I met almost every culture you could think of because of that community, right? Except funny Brazilians. I just met a Brazilian not too long ago, and I was like, I never met a Brazilian, and that's one person, one that I did. The one
rainbow coalition that you haven't come across yet.
Yeah. So, but raised and then went to UIC, right? I just been around the city. So, and then now that I'm in real estate, I mean, I've appreciated the city even more. Like I appreciate the neighborhoods, the restaurants. I appreciate just any neighborhood. Like they're literally, the real estate community calls me Jenny from the block for a reason, because I'm going into neighborhoods, all neighborhoods you could think of.
Some stories,
so
yeah, from one of your properties. You got a property over there.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's they usually think I'm like a narc or something like that. Like.
You want that to look like Clarissa?
No. Sometimes like, I can't look like that. I need to put on like Nikes. I need to make sure I look. I'm telling you, there's a reason why I always wear hoops, because I want people to know I'm Hispanic. Like. Because I can pass.
Where are y'all?
Because sometimes people think I'm Caucasian. I'm like, no, I'm not Caucasian. But it is what it is, right?
I feel like your features are heavily Mexican, though.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
People still think that I'm like, I've heard Italian, I've heard Filipino.
100% you Italian.
Yeah, I've heard. What else have I heard? I mean, I always get Puerto Rican across the board is like. Like, you just give me Puerto Rican vibes. I'm like, well, I was raised with Puerto Ricans. I worked in Humboldt Park, so maybe that's why. But I'm Mexican, like straight from Mexico, not straight Mexican.
No, now, Clarissa.
We know.
we are well aware. So, one of the things that you talked about also too was like, just as we're getting old, like things have shifted, right? So one of the things that you and I sometimes talk about, just the dating world as in this big age, if you will.
Oh Lord.
Do you feel like now that you are older, it's harder to find like a date, or like do you feel it's easier because you know what you want?
I don't say it's harder. I think I honestly, like, I know if I'm always being pursued or always right, but I ignore a lot, and I guess when my mind is too focused in business, or because I am a workaholic, I can be a workhorse, so sometimes my blinders are up.
Yeah,
and like someone could be flirting with me, I'm like not even realizing that they're flirting with me. I'm like, wait, what?
This man putting out all the time and everything.
Like,
who are you?
Yeah, like why did you do this? Why are you saying this to me right now? Like I'm trying to like.
Right, I'm trying to get this right here.
I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to make this profit here. I'm trying to get this money.
You know, about dinner. Like, what? We can eat later, but what are you buying this property yesterday? This property.
Are you going to contribute to the down payment? Right? Are you going to help me with the interest payments every month?
Me close this. I don't know.
Yeah, like I got more mortgage payments than most people. So, like, if y'all ain't coming,
that was it. We're not talking about a subtle
flex. We're not talking about one mortgage.
Yeah, we want to talk about a subtle flex. I have more mortgages than most people. And the tone in which you said it too, the octave change. And that's when Jenny from the block goes away. That's when she takes the hoops off.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh, corporate America. No, I think it's been interesting journey because I've been divorced. Well, how long have I been divorced now? I've been separated for 4 years, divorced 2 years, right? So it's interesting dynamic now because it felt like when you're younger, of course, as a woman, it's even more easier, right? Because it's like variety everywhere, right? And then like I think it's still the same, but now I'm just so focused on work that I'm kind of not really paying attention to those social cues, But how's that been for you?
Actually, coming out, when you come out that divorce gate, you come out swinging. I ain't gonna lie to you.
For a guy, I could imagine.
Yeah, for a guy, you come out swinging. There's there's pros and cons to everything, especially like those who are getting divorced in Illinois. If you do not know, it ain't easy being cheesy. Okay, so just know if you get married in Illinois, you better stick with them for life if you can, because especially if you have kids and stuff like that, too, it changes. It's just a lot. But for me, it has been. I have a girlfriend. It's been a good experience.
Well, this has been a conversation. Thank you, Sean, for being on with us. Thank you for everyone watching and listening. You're watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show. You guys have a great rest of your day.